Live tonight from sunny Hampton, Georgia, it's iRacing's NASCAR Race Night on RaceSpot TV. It's the NASCAR iRacing Class B Mixed Series takes to the Atlanta Motor Speedway for round 10 of Season 2, and the green flag is next on iRacing Live. Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to iRacing's NASCAR Race Night on RaceSpot TV, streaming live on iRacing Live and Fans Choice TV for round number 10. We're happy to have you with us here tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm Andy Kessler. Joining me tonight, topside in the booth, we got Randy Cheneth, and as always, our director this evening is RaceSpot's Hugo Louise. Tonight, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Randy, one of the, fastest racetracks with these B-class cars. One they carry the momentum up through these straightaways. It's very important for these cars on their corner exit all night long. And this is one of those places, pretty hot, slick racetrack. It makes for some interesting racing as well when they're side by side off of these corners. We're in for a good treat here tonight.
Yes, certainly, Andy. It's all about carrying speed here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And like you said, coming off of turn 3 and 4, that exit is mighty slippery. I wouldn't be surprised if in these 40 laps we have a couple people dump it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Kind of a quick race here tonight. Scheduled distance of this race is just 40 laps. So a lot of quickness. Really, you're going to see a lot of these guys, especially if they don't qualify well, as qualifying is going on right now. They're going to have to go, and they're going to have to go quickly. And you'll also see, depending on where the cautions fall in this race, is also where you're going to see these guys, if they're going to pit. Are we going to see some gambles with 2 tires? Are we going to see these guys win it with 4 tires? Or are there going to be some guys that decide to stay out and take that track position to try to pull this one out?
Yeah, it's hard to say now. Obviously, we can't see the future, can't see where the yellows will fly, if any at all, and where they come out will definitely shake up everything. And like you said, the strategy choices will make some big changes. I think definitely taking tires will be a huge benefit considering how slippery this circuit is and how warm it is today. But at the same point, it is just a fairly short 40-lap sprint. So kind of Saturday night showdown style racing here tonight.
Yeah, they don't call it Hot Atlanta for no reason at all. Tires eat up very rapidly on this racetrack. A very rough, abrasive surface, a very older surface, one of the oldest ones on the circuit. So the tires are a big factor. You'll see almost a 2 to 2.5 second difference from guys on fresh tires to the guys without tires. But this is just a 40-lap sprint for most of these guys. Most of them used to much longer races, double, maybe even triple the size of this one here tonight. So you're really talking about maybe more as a feature event or a quick race, if you want to call it that. But we're in for a lot of fun nonetheless here. It's that time, though. Qualifying is over. Just 19 cars taking a qualifying effort here tonight. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's race. And on the pole with a fast time of a 29.272. That's the number 3 of Daniel Roper. Logan Clampett in the 2 will start second. Well, Alex Bergeron will roll off in that 3rd spot outside of row number 2. That's the 5 of E.J. O'Rourke, while Royce Scrivano will start 5th.
Jason Bernstein in the number 7 car will roll off P6. Adam Gilliland in the 4, P7. Joshua Crane rolling off P8. Timmy Hill coming in P number 9. And Austin Yarborough, P10.
Pedro Omega in the 19 will start 11th. 12th goes to Brendan Kohler. Daniel Coleman will start 13th. 14th goes to the 13 car of Jason Stout. And Ryan Hopner will start 15th.
Rounding out the last year qualifiers in 16th, we have Brian Frick. In 17th, Jake Simmons. In 18th, Joe Nathan. 19th, Cody Hildebrand. And rounding out the field, a bunch of non-qualifiers, Brody Hayes, Malik Ray, Damian Pittman, and Jason Brennan.
Bunch of big names we see in this top split for this race here tonight. A bunch of guys you'll see over the course of normal Tuesday night action right here at RaceSpot TV with the NASCAR iRacing, the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series powered by iRacing. So a lot of those names in this race here you'll see tonight, and a bunch of other names that we see throughout the circuit as well, especially on the oval side throughout iRacing and on broadcasts all over the place. But we're in for a treat here tonight. I love this track, very fast. We talked about it being very slick. Track position's key, 40 laps into it. You got to say those guys back there we talked about with the urgency with only 40 laps, Randy, that these guys towards the back, especially the guys that didn't qualify, they got to get moving here pretty quickly because these laps will tick by quick.
Yeah, there's really not going to be much strategy in a race like this today. You know, just 40 laps. You know, it's going to be all about how quick you are and how well you can get yourself through this field. You know, the only thing that's really going to shake up strategy here is yellow flags. I'm not really expecting any green flag pit stops if we do stay green the whole time, which I doubt we will with this slippery surface. But so I mean, it's going to be a point where once that green flag comes out, you kind of need to just go and you need to start looking forward.
Tires will start to fall off probably around that 10 to 15 lap mark. That's usually where we'll see these guys, the comers and goers, I should say. The guys who are really forcing the issue early on, you'll start to see them fall back. You'll start to see the guys who are saving come forward. So it's all about tire management here tonight, especially in this 40-lap race. You don't want to be that guy, I guess, if it does stay green, on about lap 25 or 30 where you're just literally falling to the back. So it's a big play for these guys to really be conscious of what they're doing on the racetrack.
Yeah, it certainly is. And what do you think is going to happen on the first lap, Andy? You think it's going to be relatively safe and smooth by everyone involved, or do you think people are going to get impatient even before we get to turn 1?
Well, just the way they're lining up here, I think they're all in a hurry already to get to the front if it wasn't for the pace car being out there now. But that pace car is going to take that look now down the pit road. Control car, Daniel Roper, will not waste any time at all getting up to speed. Green flag is out. We're racing here, and already some dicing and moving around here back there. The 16 of Austin Yarborough started in that 10th position. He already dove to the inside rather quickly just after the start-finish line. There's already one car on the move here. Up front, though, the top two, there's single file, 1-2, as they run into turn number 3, and Logan Clampett not letting that 3 machine out of his sight.
He certainly isn't, and he's keeping it right on the rear bumper of that 3 machine. They have a little breakaway to the car in third of Alex Bergeron, but it's not by a lot. And I think that there's going to be a little bit of conserving from some of these guys up to the top front. Actually, we got someone moving forward. That's E.J. O'Rourke on the inside. He's actually defending P4 from from Royce Scrivano on that 12.
Yeah, Scrivano is looking to the outside. Oh, trouble already for the 5 right there. A little bit loose off the corner. Maybe a little bit of help from that 12 car. He's going to put him down to the inside. He'll give up at least that one position now as Timmy Hill in that 1 car looked for a second like he was going to go to the outside. Chose to duck back down behind that number 5. E.J. O'Rourke not giving up too quickly there. He's still kind of inside, awfully close right there with that 12. As they head back into turn number 1, he'll still have that inside lane now as they still continue to battle for that 4th spot side by side off of 2.
Yeah, certainly an interesting opening lap there from Timmy Hill. Actually moved himself up 3 positions in that first lap. So maybe looking for him to work his way forward throughout this field. Number 7 right now, and coming off of turn 4, he wiggles just a little bit, able to hold on to it, but I think Timmy Hill's going to have momentum on the outside.
Yeah, right now, side by side, 3 rows deep, all happening right behind our front 2 runners right now. A little bit more contact. There goes the 5. E.J. O'Rourke is around. It was contact with the 6 of Alex Bergeron in the turns 1 and 2, and our first caution of the night here on lap number 4.
pretty early there. Just they were kind of getting them those stacked up, and EJ just barely tapped the rear end of the car behind. And Alex Bergeron, he didn't get it too bad. Looks like he basically kept it from hitting anything by the looks of it. Although definitely unfortunate for EJ, put him out. And actually at 12, very good driving by him to keep it off the wall.
Yeah, we saw that on that replay right there. Just some contact
he did
in the
get the
corner there.
Hard.
Yeah, some hard side-by-side racing between all those guys, and that's just what you're going to see with Atlanta. Those guys, when you pinch them down on the bottom like that, you really, to carry your speed off the corner, you need to be able to go up to the wall there. So everybody fighting for position there early on here, lap number 4. A few guys, though, going to have to head to the back of the field here. A couple guys already off track already, 1 lap down. That's Adam Gilliland and the number 9 of Daniel Coleman. They are still on the racetrack, but they are shown right now 1 lap down. Daniel Roper, he's led the way so far the whole time. Pit road is open, and we're not wasting any time, Randy. Even only 4 laps on those tires. They're coming down now for service.
Yeah, we saw a couple wiggles from those guys into those green flag laps, just that short little bit. So I'm not really surprised to see people coming down this early here, especially with just a 40-lap race. Even just a few laps on these tires can make a big difference. Actually, I think I might have heard contact on pit road in the back. I'm not sure, but I heard contact somewhere.
Yeah, there definitely could have been these guys fighting for everything they possibly can get, even coming in and off of pit road. It looks like probably a 4-tire stop for everybody. They'll get back out on the racetrack. A couple vehicles that look like might have stayed out on the racetrack. They might have been the lap down cars, though, still out on the racetrack right now. But yeah, the 9, of Daniel Coleman still out there right now. But all your leaders coming off of pit road, and they're going to come off pit road pretty much the way they went on. So that 3 of Daniel Roper going to assume the race lead once again when we get set to grid these guys back up and get back under the green flag.
Yeah, pretty much the same old running order that we saw. The only real shakeups were just from people that got caught up in that incident, had to take repairs, and people benefiting from that. So besides that, I think everyone came out in the same order.
You're absolutely right. Austin Yarborough, Josh Berry, Damon Burnett, Austin Yarborough, the only one in this race here that has already left, pulled it behind the wall here. So that was one driver with some damage that was running up inside the top 10. He qualified in the 10th spot, so we'll see how everything shakes out for him. But Daniel Roper, all these guys up towards the front, it's kind of heartbreaking, I guess, for a lot of drivers when that type of wreck, especially at any track, really happens towards the front of the field, and that was a battle for around that 4th position when this all started.
Yeah, it really is, because, once it happens in front, especially in these early goings, it happens in front of everybody, and it's basically everyone scrambling around the racetrack trying to get around it or try to not get involved. And, you definitely can see incidents where people just, you see secondary incidents of people trying to avoid the wreck, get caught up in their own stuff.
Absolutely what happens. Expecting the lights to go off this next time by for these drivers on the racetrack. Working lap number 7. Of course, there's only 40 scheduled laps here in this race here tonight, so these guys got to get up on the wheel and get up on it quickly, but they need the green flags to get it done. So cautions like this take off about 4 or 5 laps from the actual race itself. That doesn't help the guys trying to come up through the field. Already a couple guys making their way from outside the top 10 into the top 10. Ryan Hopner in the 20 machine from 15th to 9th here. He'll be for this restart. Again, Brendan Kohler as well started 12th. He's up to 7th. And Pedro Mega as well in the 19 has worked his way up 5 spots from 11th to 6th. So already a few guys making their way outside of the top 10 into the top 10, trying to make it, trying to get up there at least to get in contention for this one before it's over.
Yeah, right now about half of the top 10 didn't start there, and same story really for the top 5. The last 2 runners in the top 5, neither of them started there. So definitely good to see people able to move themselves up very, very aggressively. And obviously this incident helped, but there's only a couple cars, 2 or 3 cars really caught up in that incident. A lot of these guys, they picked up 6, 7, maybe even 8 spots depending on where you look. So definitely these guys are racing their way to the front.
Well, it's all going to happen now as the field gets stacked up double file as we get set to get back underway here in this one. When they hit the start-finish line, we'll have just a mere 32 laps left to go in this race here tonight. Again, we'll set you up. Daniel Roper will lead the way. Logan Clampett sits second. Alex Bergeron in that 3rd spot. Jason Bernstein will restart 4th, and Timmy Hill will round out your top 5 here on this start here. The bottom side, typically the place you want to be, especially on that opening lap. Usually these guys can hold it wide open with these fresh tires on that bottom side, maybe a little burp or so with the fuel, but other than that, they can get a pretty good lap on that bottom side, which gives them the advantage, which obviously helps them get a few more positions. Pace car, though, going to look to the safety of pit road once again here as we get set for our first restart of the night. Daniel Roper not wasting any time once again, and he's on the gas and on his way here. So they race side by side for that second spot. It's a pretty good jump there for Alex Bergeron.
Yeah, actually a fantastic jump. He's able to get completely clear of Logan Clampett going into turn one. So that's pretty fantastic stuff. And he's actually really in the three of Daniel Roper. He's going to be looking to the inside now as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3. That 6 is basically side by side. He's going to get that job done. Half a lap, 2 cars past. Excellent driving by Alex Bergeron.
Excellent driving all the way up to the point. You can see him exit turn 4 real high. Keeps the momentum up, keeps it, gets that lap led there as they cross the start-finish line. To work, lap number 10 for side-by-side action. We got it's a little further back. That's Timmy Hill, just able to get around that 19 of Pedro Omega. That is the battle for that 5th spot. Now look at Timmy Hill looking to the inside. It's the 7 of Jason Bernstein now jumps to the bottom. That F1 car has to back out just a bit just to let that car in there. If he didn't, that would have been another big mess right there into turn number 3. But side-by-side for third off of turn 4.
I can tell you somebody's probably not going to be very happy about this is Logan Clampett. He started this restart in second place, already back to third, and now he's under attack to maybe drop back to fourth. And if he can't carry his momentum well, he's going to get freight trained by both Bernstein, Timmy Hill, as well as Brandon Kohler. They're all toes to tail there on the inside, so he definitely needs to drive. He needs to drive hard now to defend.
Looked like for a second there that one was going to make it 3 wide off of turn number 2, looking to the inside of Bernstein. Didn't happen. Top 3 now single file. It's Jason Bernstein in that 7 machine now side by side with Pedro Omega. That is the battle for that 4th spot right there. Timmy Hill still looking on behind along with the 8 of Brendan Kohler. He's showing a lot of speed as well. The problem for those 2 guys, they're just stuck. There is absolutely nowhere for them to go unless they're going to force an issue and go 3 wide. As you can see right here, they do that. They put Pedro Omega to the top. The 8 bobbles there in the center. Some contact with the 20. That'll send him back a couple spots now. It's going to leave that one to Timmy Hill to battle out with the 19.
Yeah, well driven by Brendan Kohler there. He was maybe being a little impatient trying to force it 3 wide. Got up in the middle, got tagged just a little bit, got really loose, and he did very, very well to be able to wheel that thing and get it back underneath him. Fantastic driving by him to not spin around in front of about half of this field.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, but these short races, that's exactly what it promotes, in my opinion. 19 now into the wall off of turn number 4. He's going to drop back a few spots now. That leaves a top 5. All single file now as the 19 continues to fall back. Lost his momentum after making contact with that wall in turn number 4. He's going to drop all the way outside the top 10, it looks like, by turn number 2 here. Top 5, though, starting to spread it out just a bit. Look at that 6, Alex Bergeron. Once he's taken that lead, he's pulled away now by 3 car lengths, it looks like, off of turn number 4. And now the 2 of Logan Clampett still having trouble to get to the inside.
Alex Bergeron definitely showing good pace right now, although it might be interesting to see how this pans out. These guys behind maybe thinking this race might end up going green. They may be saving their tires just a little bit, whereas Alex Bergeron might be pushing really hard. But someone who I'm sure is really happy to see these guys make a couple little hiccups and drop off is Timmy Hill. We saw him basically trapped behind a couple cars there in the early runnings of this restart. Now he's got relatively clear track in front of him, and without being surrounded by cars, he can really pressure the cars in front and be able to work himself by.
There's a few guys working themselves around a whole bunch of cars right now. Timmy Hill making the move on the 3 of Daniel Roper. Roper started this race on the pole, led the first 4 or 5 laps as the 20 has trouble off turn number 2. He's going to lose some spots as well. 20 machine of Ryan Hauptner, and he's just wiggled there off of turn number 2. But I was talking about that 3 of Roper. Started up front, led all those laps at the beginning, restarted here in the front, but once that 6 got by him, he's had trouble once he's been behind these cars. Maybe a little bit to do with the aero with these cars. Once you're behind a car, we know how these cars can act a lot different when you're in traffic as opposed to clean air, as you were just talking about just a moment ago. So we can see that 3 car still falling back and actually losing a little bit of ground right now to that 3rd place machine.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see Daniel dropping off the way he is. You know, he definitely have pace just given his, what he managed to run in qualifying, but he just doesn't seem to have the race pace. And I don't know if it's completely the car or aero, because we see other people able to really run in this dirty air and make moves. Timmy Hill is a big example. He started this race in 9th, and he's already worked himself up to 3rd, and he's already looking up ahead to Jason Bernstein and Alex Bergeron. So I'm really not sure what happened to the 3. Maybe got himself some contact somewhere and has maybe a little unseen damage, or I'm not really sure, or either that or he's just conserving for the later end of the race. But if that's the case, it's going to be about another probably 5 to 7 laps before the race starts coming back his way.
Yeah, it could take a little bit of time for these tires to wear into his liking if he's conserving what he is right now. We're approaching a halfway point, just 2 laps away from that point here. This race will click by pretty quick now. Pretty good battle going on between this number 2 of Logan Clampett and Brendan Kohler right now. That is the battle for the 5th spot there. Both of those guys look like they're rubbing each other. At least the 8 was getting on that back bumper, that 2 there. A little separation now off of turn number 4, but off of turn number 2, they were awfully close there, almost making some contact, getting that 2 a little bit loose now. And now the 10. Whoa, 10 and the 8 make contact. Trouble in turn 1. That's Brody Hayes in the 10 and the 8 of Brendan Kohler. We just mentioned him battling with Logan Clampett, and both of those guys contact in turn 1, and they're up in the wall.
Yeah, that just is sort of your stereotypical sort of following a car in front of you into the corner, and that car in front of you checks up a little bit more than you expect. The 10 was going in behind the 8 there, and I think he didn't realize that he was going to that the 8 was going to slow down as much as he did. And well, the 8 just got tagged and sent around. Relatively simple incident from my perspective.
Absolutely, it looked like the 10 carrying a little bit of speed, went to the high side. Replay up on the screen, and it looks like. Just, yeah, like you said, he was carrying more speed, went to the high side, it looked like, and they ended up just hooking bumpers, and around they went, and we get our second caution of the night right at the halfway point here. So we saw these guys come in after 4 laps. I'm sure we'll see them after about 12 now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the entire field will come down. Anyone who may have caught a piece of that accident. Actually, I don't think anyone did get a piece of that accident. I think everyone got by clean, so very well done by them. But I'm sure we'll see the entire field come down here for 4 tires, and well, probably not fuel, but
definitely maybe conserve a little bit on fuel. But they don't need it. They have a full tank when they started this race. It's more than enough to make it the 40-lap scheduled distance here tonight. Everybody on their way down pit road, and they'll get service done to their vehicles. 4 tires of fuel is what we expect the call to be for everybody. Or at least our front runners. Might not be surprised if I do see at least 1 or 2 try the 2-tire gamble towards the back, but I just think they'll get eaten alive with still 19 laps left to go in this race. So 4 tires of fuel would be my call if I was out there, but I'm obviously not good enough to be out there, so that's why I'm up here.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, and I actually agree on that the choice on 2 tires. Actually, as the 1 gets himself a fantastic pit stop, and I think the 1's going to put himself in the lead from 3rd place. So fantastic pit stop by Timmy Hill. Might be interesting to see if he's the one who maybe chose to take 2 tires, but I actually agree with you. I think this yellow is about 5 to 6 laps early to have done 2 tires. And actually looking at the pit stops times, Timmy Hill did take 4 tires, so extraordinarily well done by him to pick himself up a couple spots in this yellow.
Yep, they did a great job on pit road. Got the job done. Got him up 2 spots. That's a pretty fantastic job right there, getting it. And that gives that number 1 car the clean air that he probably desperately needed there, riding around. Made it all the way up from the 9th spot, though, up to 3rd over the course of this first half of the race. So he definitely had the speed there, but it's going to be interesting to see how much speed he can actually have now with the clean air in front of him here. Well, looks like we'll probably get about 2 to go this time, so they'll have a couple laps to think about it. But Daniel Roper, again, doing a great job there on the pit road as well with that first pit stall, able to come out ahead of the 6. So a slow stop for Alex Bergeron, who was your leader coming down pit road. He'll have a little bit of trouble. He's got some work to do now to get back up to the front. But I'll tell you, one guy that was struggling and surprised to see it was that, too, Logan Clampett. Started second both of the first 2 restarts or starts of the race, and he just kept falling back. I mean, he's up to that 5th spot now after this pit stop, but I'm kind of interested to see what kind of strategy. Maybe he's just playing that long-run strategy, and maybe at this point now with only 20 or under 20 to go that you might see that too really step on it and maybe try to pick off some of these spots before the end of it.
Yeah, and at this point, that playing the long game strategy is really out the window with these yellows. That we're gonna get. I think it's gonna be about 15 or 16 to go here once we eventually go green. And there's not a lot of conserving you can do on new tires within 15 laps. But like you said, once Alex Bergeron, when he made that move for the lead on, when he got by Logan Clampett on that restart, as well as inherited the lead, Logan from there pretty much fell back, and he was down, I think, running about 5th or 6th position before this yellow came out. So didn't really benefit off this yellow, even though a couple of our leaders actually had some hiccups on pit road. And I think you're absolutely right. Logan Clampett, he needs to get himself moving forward.
Yeah, he does. The 20, how about a shout out for the 20, who got a little loose off the corner a few laps ago before that caution, fell all the way back to about that 10th spot. He had a great job on pit road as well. He'll restart 6th here. So we'll look at our top 5 runners as they'll get set to get back underway as they double up here, and we'll get the one to go. Timmy Hill's going to restart in the front spot. Jason Bernstein on the outside of the first row, and Daniel Roper, a good rebound for him on pit road, will get him at least to that second row inside, and Alex Bergeron will restart 4th, while Logan Clampett will round out the top 5. A couple more guys coming up through the field as well. We haven't talked much about him. Cody Hillenbrand from 19th up to 9th here for this restart, so we'll see what he can do on this one here. See if he can grab a few more spots here, get himself a top 5 finish before this one's all said and done. 16 laps, it looks like, to go when we get the green flag this time as they work their way through 3 and 4. Hopefully this could be our final restart of the evening. The pace car got pretty close, I think, to the same amount of laps led as the leader right now, but he'll make his way to pit road once again, and this restart will be led to the green by the one of Timmy Hill, and he gets a real good jump right there, bottles up the bottom side just a bit. Look at the 7 push down the racetrack. He's actually going to throw that 3 into the grass there. Daniel Roper, good job hanging on to that. He'll merge his way back up into traffic. And Timmy Hill, he's been able to pull out now to Carlin's after number 7 off turn 2.
Yeah, that's exactly what Timmy Hill wanted to see on this restart. He saw that 7 having to defend, and because of that, he actually was able to build up a pretty substantial lead. It's 2 to 3 car lengths right now as they head through turn 3 and 4. So very, very well done by Timmy Hill on this restart, and a very good racing actually by the 3 to merge himself back up into the traffic cleanly.
Yeah, good job, and a good job by the guys around him. They'll give him that room to get up there, too. A lot of times we'll see guys not want to give you that spot or give you that room, and ends up causing some contact and possibly caution. But those guys, all a good heads-up job by all of them. Now, battle for second, though, as the 7 creeps closer to Timmy Hill. Jason Bernstein now has that 6. He's going to defend him pretty well there and block him, actually, because Alex Bergeron is going to have to fall back in line right now. But Timmy Hill, he hasn't been able to pull away like I thought he would with the clean air. That 7's pretty fast.
Yeah, Timmy Hill hasn't raced in clean air this whole race, so I think he may be just trying to get used to it, trying not to catch any oversteers. Obviously, the car's going to be a little bit more responsive and turn a little bit better, so he's probably just trying to figure out what he can do to get the pace. But right now, that 7 car, even though he's trying to reel in Timmy Hill, he is under attack by the 6 as they go through 3 and 4. He actually just shut the door on the 6. The 6 is definitely looking to the inside going into 3, and Jason Bernstein basically said, "Nuh-uh, not today, bud."
Oh, and he keeps shutting the door right there in the tri-oval as well. The 6 just looking for any way around him. He'll look to the high side right now, trying to get that momentum. The high side can work as the lap wear on and the tire or the wear gets into the track and the rubber starts building up, and the caution will come out once again here. Looks like the number 13, the cause of this one. That is Jason Strout. He was running in 15th, and he had trouble through turns 1 and 2, and we'll try to get that replay up on your screen, but it looks like
actually it was the 18 of Cody Hillenbrand ahead, just lost it. And then the Jason Strout was more or less just an innocent bystander. So apologies for Jason for giving him the blame there, but definitely unfortunate for him, as well as unfortunate for Cody Hillenbrand. They're going through 1 and 2. Car just got loose and just went around.
But they did, loose all by himself, probably because of a too high of an entry into that corner there. I really think you got to be towards the bottom on the entry into turns number 1 and 2, and just a little high up. Too much wheel into it. The 18 goes around, and the 13 of Jason Strout nowhere to go except into the side of him. And we will see that. We're going to take this moment, though, why we're under caution, since we're under caution again here. A couple laps. We'll take a break right here. You're watching the NASCAR iRacing Class B Fix Series right here on RaceSpot TV. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome you back here to Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's iRacing's NASCAR Race Night on RaceSpot TV, streaming live on iRacing Live and Fan Choice TV. It's round number 10 of the Class B Fixed Series. It's underway here, coming to 10 laps to go, so we're getting closer to the end of this one. I'm Andy Kessler, joining me, of course, up top side in the booth, Randy Cheneth, and it's been a good race so far. I mean, just maybe a little too many cautions, I think, that we would expect out of these drivers here, but it is a fast, slick racetrack, and we've seen a couple now. Nothing major, just maybe that first one caught up about 4 or 5 there on lap number 4, but other than that, it's been a couple of single car, maybe 2 car accidents since then, a couple, and you know, it's just taking out a couple cars, but good driving by other guys, but now at this point with 10 to go, you're not going to see these guys come down pit road anymore. It's going to be pretty much what you got under you is what you're going to have for the rest of this one.
Yeah, and actually, interestingly enough, coming into this yellow, we had about half the field come down and take tires, and the other half really didn't. The first car running right now who actually hit the pit lane was Daniel Coleman. He rolls around on the in traffic right now in P number 9 as they're waiting to get going back to green. So these guys who decided to come down and take tires, they have a bit of traffic that they have to work themselves through. And Andy, you know, they only ran about 3 to 4 laps on those tires. I don't think coming down and getting new rubber was really his best decision.
It might not have been. I think maybe the 6th of Alex Bergeron was probably thinking a few other guys inside that top 10 would have came down, but they didn't. So I think he's got some work to do. He showed right now in the 9th spot, so I do believe he's got plenty of time. Probably get himself a top 5. It's not going to make a huge difference, but he probably will be about a 10th or 2 faster than these guys that are out there right now. It doesn't sound like much, but at a racetrack like this, when he can carry the speed, probably on the high side too as well, it'll probably work out pretty good for him. He'll be able to pick off a few of these spots here before this is done. But we got to remember too, once we get about to that 5 to go mark there, a caution would end this race as well, since we don't have any green, white, checkered flag finishes for these races. So you got to be mindful of that as well as you're trying to push your way through the field. You don't want a caution to end your charge towards the front, so you got to be careful with that. The only guy that would probably like to see a caution would be your leader at the time, so that's about the only person that would like to see a caution with under 5 to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he certainly would after starting in 9th place and working himself up to the lead here. I think you're absolutely right. He would not mind a yellow flag to end this as the pace car is getting ready to come down pit road here, Andy.
Right, we get set to get back under the green flag here. Timmy Hill will lead the way. He's checking up the field just a bit. They're stacking way up. It's been a long time to get that green flag there. That's going to really jumble things up behind him. That's going to put him almost in some 3 wide predicaments there. That's going to allow that 3 of Daniel Roper to stick with him now on the high side.
Yeah, he was not able to drive away on this at all. I'm not sure if he maybe caught wheel spin or if he just waited too long, but Daniel Roper got himself an absolutely fantastic restart, and he actually has a nose on Timmy Hill as they go down into turn 3 and 4. Hill on the inside, so obviously advantage to him as now they roll through the middle, and he's just almost clear, and he's not going to be able to actually get it done. So the 3's going to have that momentum when they come across the line, but Timmy Hill will lead that lap.
He will lead that lap, and he's actually going to clear him by the time they get to turn number 1. So the momentum on the bottom side, which is typically something you don't really see too often at these mile and a half, is a 19 struggles a little bit off of turn number 2. They're going to go 3 wide to get around him right now. Even 4 wide almost as a 7 ducks way below the apron right there to make their way around it, but everybody able to keep it straight. The battle up front still heats up, though, off of turn number 4. Here comes a 3 now. Looking to the inside, that's Roper, wants to lead back.
And he's got that inside, and the problem here for Timmy Hill is that Logan Clampett's there as well. So if the 3's able to get this job done, the 2's going to be there, and actually just past the 2, Ryan Holtner's there as well. So I think Timmy Hill might just get himself freight train here just a little bit if he's not aggressive. And of course, that's what he's going to do. Back down to the inside, going into 3.
Talk about aggressive moves right there. Almost didn't have enough room. Drops to the inside, goes around the 3 once again, and now the battle side by side just behind him as Logan Clampett looks to take that 2nd spot over as he gets a nose on the inside. Not going to quite have it. He'll single file it out, heading back into turn number 1 to 3. Almost looking to the inside there. Spelled disaster there, but for the time being, single file now all through the field here as they race their way off into turn number 3. This time around, though, only 4 laps to go to get it done.
Yeah, only 4 laps to go, and people need to, you know, at this point, you need to get yourself to out front, basically at the soonest possible convenience you can, because obviously a yellow ends this race. You don't want to be the guy who's running second being patient when that yellow flag comes out. So you definitely need to be pushing hard right now if you're Daniel Roper. And obviously if you're Timmy Hill, you need to be defending really hard as well. Looking back down to the guys who pit, I believe our most forward running person who took tires on that yellow is actually Alex Bergeron. He currently runs in 7th, making a move on the 11 car right now up on the outside, and he actually gets tapped just a little bit. Very, very loose coming off of turn 4. The 11 and the 9 go around. Might bring out a yellow flag here, Andy.
It might. It looks like they're kind of straight right now. The 3 of Roper looking to the inside again on Timmy Hill as everything stays straight. We stay green flag racing. And the battle for the lead shapes up here at the high side, though. The momentum going to carry the 1 for the time being. Logan Clampett looking to push Roper now as they head back to turn number 3. Still single file.
Yeah, fantastic there by Timmy to get that momentum coming off of turn 2. As right now they come through 3 and 4. They're 3 almost 4 abreast actually behind them as they come off of turn 4. They're going to take 2 to go this time. And basically when they're running this close, I think just about anything can happen here, Andy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're so close, though, to getting that white flag. Of course, they get the white flag. They're racing to the end no matter what happens. Alex Bergeron trying to make his way up through the fields, getting in that top 5. He's trying to get around Joshua Crane now in that 21 machine. That'll get him that 5th spot if he possibly can. Makes a little contact with the 20, though, in turn number 4. That's going to slow him up just a bit there. 21 gets in the wall. Now the top 3, it's left for them to settle it out. White flag in the air. Timmy Hill into the 1.
Timmy Hill going into turn 1, able to get it done, and actually behind, they're 3-4 abreast again. That little incident stacking them up. Timmy Hill able to keep that advantage coming down the back straightaway into turn number 3. We actually have a car in the wall behind. Not sure who that is. We'll talk about that after this race. But coming through 3 and 4, Timmy Hill maintains this lead. Daniel Roper still not close enough, and Logan Clampett as well actually pushes up into the wall.
He does, and Timmy Hill will win at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 3 of Daniel Roper unable to catch him there in the last closing laps, and Timmy Hill will come out with the victory here at Atlanta. What a race for him. Started 9th, made his way up to the top 5 rather quickly. Then he kind of stalled out there around that 3rd or 4th position for a long time there, and then it just seemed there for a while it wasn't going to be, but he took the lead over there off of that pit stop. That pretty much was the call that won the race for him there. That 4-tire stop, he was able to win everybody off of pit road, and he ends up coming home with the victory here tonight. What a fantastic finish to that one.
Yeah, that was very, very tight. And further back down the field, we actually had a couple incidents there on that last lap. We had one car spin off of turn 2, and actually we had several cars get into one another coming off of 4 and on the front straightaway coming to the checkered flag. So very, very exciting final laps there. And like you said, fantastic driving by Timmy Hill, starting just barely inside the top 10 and getting himself a strong victory.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's take a look at the results though for this one here tonight. The iRacing NASCAR race night here, the Class B Fixed Series. Timmy Hill coming out with the victory here tonight. Daniel Roper, who started on the pole, he'll end up finishing in that 2nd spot. Logan Clampett, he'll finish 3rd. 4th goes to that 6 of Alex Bergeron. A good call by him with those 4 tires, enables him to get a top 5 finish. Jason Bernstein will round out the top 5. Daniel Pittman, didn't talk about him all race long, started 22nd. He'll come home in the 6th spot. 7th goes to Ryan Hopner. Royce Scrivano will finish in the 8th spot. 9th goes to Jason Brennan. And Brian Frick will round out the top 10.
11th place will be Joe Nathan, the man with 2 first names. 12th place will be Jake Simmons. 13th, Joshua Crane. 14th, Pedro Mega. 15th, Daniel Coman. And then from here, we basically get to your people who did not finish this race today. 16th will be AJ O'Rourke, 10 laps down. 17th will be Cody Hildebrandt. 18th, Jason Stout. 19th, Brendan Kohler. 20th, Brody Hayes. 21st, Malik Gray. 22nd, Austin Yarborough. Then 23rd, Adam Gilliland.
That was your full field rundown of everything that took play. We'll take a look at the replay, though. The number 14, his incident there at the end, Jake Simmons, who ended up finishing in the 12th spot. And just a tough break there coming off on the white flag lap there. Lost him a couple spots there as he was battling for those positions there in the late going. But fantastic race nonetheless. And Timmy Hill comes home with the victory. We'll let's send it down trackside now. And I think, Randy, you've caught up with our 3rd place finisher there, Logan Clampett.
I certainly am, Andy. And Logan, well, you started P2, you actually ended up losing a spot over this race, which was definitely unfortunate for you. How was this racetrack?
Well, it was just full throttle all the way around, so there wasn't much to it, and but it was a fun pack race, I guess, as you could say. But just wish that we could have gotten by Timmy there. I gave Dan multiple chances, but just couldn't do it, and
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for you guys not quite able to get that job done to get by Timmy. Timmy obviously he started relatively far down the field, started to ninth, and was able to work himself up forward. The big thing that me and Andy noticed that managed to get that job done was on one of those pit stops, he picked himself up, I believe, 3 or 4 spots. What do you think it was on pit road that enabled him to do that?
it was just a good stop, I guess. It's just how you get into your box or something, I guess. Random times, no one knows really, but I had like a 13.2 that time, so I guess it wasn't enough. We tried saving there. I think it was like from lap 10 through 20, and then the caution came out, which really sucked, and wish that it would have gone green, so we would have gotten them.
We were actually talking about that because we noticed you had dropped back just a little bit. We were theorizing that you may have been one of those ones saving, but still a good finish for you coming home in third. Anyone you'd like to thank?
Just thank you, HPM, Keith Plaza, for the great setup under the hood tonight, and Sim Racing Authority, great league overall, and you guys should go join them, Infinite Creative Solutions, and Kenneth Drake for spotting during my peak races, and that's about it.
All right, so congratulations again on this fantastic P3 finish, Logan. Obviously, you would have wanted to be up at least 1 or 2 more spots, I'm sure, but still a good, strong finish for you. And I believe, Andy, you're standing by with our winner, Timmy Hill.
Yeah, I'm down here in victory lane with a familiar face. I think I've had a few interviews with you as of late, Timmy, but congratulations, a big win here tonight.
Hey, thank you. And it's good to talk to you after these wins.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Talk about this one, though. Starting the 9th spot, you were able to get up to like 4th, 5th spot there pretty quickly. Then it seemed like kind of stalled out. Maybe just the dirty air behind these guys or whatever it was. But I'll tell you what, that money stop there at the end really put you out in front, and you were able to hold on to it.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't have the qualifying lap that I would have liked. I think I started either 7th or 9th, but deep back there on the inside line. And with this being such a short race, 40 laps, it's hard to make ground on these guys. They're all really good. And this package at Atlanta, these cars are wide open for the first couple laps. So really, after a restart, you don't see a whole lot of movement for position. And then after everybody gets up to speed, there's small cracks in the throttle that you start seeing little jobs for position. But so slowly I would work my way up. There's only a couple cautions. So that last caution with, I believe, 20 to go, I had a really good stop. I came in third, had a 13-second stop, and was able to grab that lead, and that was very key. Daniel and Logan, they were both behind me very quick, and luckily when Daniel made the pass, he got checked up a little bit, getting choked down on the inside line. I was able to make the crossover and take the lead back over before the race ended. But all in all, we had a lot of fun. This package, the B-Fix series at Atlanta, it's really fun to drive. This is my 2nd race I've run this week here, and it's been quite a blast to run.
I was going to talk about that crossover move. It was awfully close, cutting the nose off of that 2 car as well too. But that was a great move there, and like you said, ultimately between that pit stop and then that crossover move, you were able to come home with the victory here. So congratulations on that. Sponsor shout-outs. Who helps you get that 1 car to the track?
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. And yeah, I'd like to give a big thanks to the Aftermath Motorsport guys for the hard effort they do on preparing setups for the Peak Antifreeze series. We have a good time with those races, and then whenever we get the chance, we can run these fixed races like this iRacing night tonight and have a good time. Unfortunately, EJ and Adam the two teammates I had in here tonight. They both had connection issues and they couldn't finish the race, but give those guys a big shout out. And normally I run my website on my race car is timmyhill.com, and I tell my viewers and fans to go check my websites out for any updates. But all in all, I want to say thanks to you guys for another broadcast, and it's great to talk to you again.
Absolutely. Congratulations again, Timmy, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, take care, guys. Good night.
There you have it. There's your winner from here at Atlanta, and I'll send it back down to Randy. He's caught up with our second place finisher, Daniel Roper.
I most certainly am, Andy, our pole sitter, and coming home in P2, Dan Roper. And Dan, well, you led some of the early goings. However, once you got past, you never really inherited that lead. Was the dirty air just was rough to run with, or what happened with that?
I was kind of hoping for more of a green flag race, so me and Clampett kind of took a tire saving strategy in the beginning and dropped back to 4th and 5th, and the way the yellows flew at the end, we really just never got a chance to show our stuff there. The one time I was able to get by Timmy off of 2. I checked up a little bit for Clampett so he'd get back under him, but Clampett just wasn't close enough, so I kind of screwed myself on that deal, but had a lot of fun. It was a good package. The car was pretty loose too, so it's a good bit of fun tonight.
Yeah, it was some pretty exciting driving from you guys up in the top 3 there in those closing laps, and specifically that one instance you talk of coming off of 2 and trying to help clamp it out. And like you said, you basically just let Timmy inherit the lead. And another way Timmy actually kind of inherited the lead as well was on that on those pit stops. He picked himself up a good 3 or 4 spots, got himself from I believe 3rd or 4th up to the point. What do you think it was that got him up to the lead on that pit stop?
iRacing's pit stalls were a bit of a lottery. I went from 6th to 3rd there on that, so I mean, it's the way you stop in your box a little bit. But if the iRacing gods want you to have a good pit stop, you will, and if they don't, then see you in the back.
All right, so a good, strong P2 finish here for Mr. Daniel Roper. Obviously, would have preferred to be up one more position there, Andy, but still a good run for him.
Yep, thanks, guys.
That absolutely was a great stop for him. We'll get one more interview here. It looks like Alex Bergeron able to catch up with him. And Alex, talk about coming in there with about 10 to go on that pit stop, choosing to come in to get those 4 tires. Were you expecting some more guys behind you to come that didn't?
Yeah, that was my strategy at the end, 20 laps to go. Pitting, I thought pitting was going to be a good move, but I ended up P10 after that pit stop, and I made my move to P4 at the end. I know the car in front of me just slowed down a little bit. He had the old tire, but can't do anything for that, and we got tangled a bit, but got fourth. But it was a good race. Everybody was clean, and some guy just had a connection issue, but yeah, it's part of iRacing, and that's it.
You're absolutely right about that, but a great charge for you nonetheless from that 10 spot up to 4th there at the end. A few more laps. Might have been talking about you with a podium finish here tonight, but a great job nonetheless. Fantastic run for you and a solid top 5 at the end of the night. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks for everybody at Race Spot for doing a good job every time broadcasting, and I have to shoot out to every of my supporters watching me right now. So it's a good night for me in P4, and good win for Tyler Hill.
Absolutely was. Congratulations again. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Andy.
All right, I guess we got time for one more. We'll send it back down to Randy. He's caught up with E.J. O'Rourke.
Yes, I am, EJ, and we talked to your teammate Timmy Hill shortly, just a few moments ago, and he said you had connection problems. However, looking at your race car, it looks like the connection problems was you connected with the wall. What happened there?
Well, Randy, I'll tell you what, man. This Gary Mercer Trucking Chevrolet fell out of the server. I don't know what happened. Drove down to turn number 1, Timmy on my outside, and Alex in front of me, and my computer locked up, my connection, everything, my sound. And then when it finally came to a rest, my throttle was hung, and it drove itself straight into the outside wall and pretty much blew up. So restarted and loaded back in the server twice. So I loaded in the first time, had no sound. Loaded in the second time, finally was working. It's just a stupid deal, but that's what happens. I'm glad I didn't really cause a huge wreck. I gotta apologize to the guys I did wreck, so it didn't work out today.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for you, EJ, but at least the team gets to come home with a strong win here in this race today. As I'm sure you guys are going to be looking to help Timmy out as you go to the next round of the Peak Antifreeze Series at Charlotte. But definitely unfortunate for you.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but I'm glad that Aftermath Motorsports could bring home a thrilling victory. Timmy Hill is one of the best drivers on the sim and in the real world, so for him to bring that Toyota home in victory it makes this my wreck a little feel a bit better.
All right, Andy, that was my little talk with one EJ O'Rourke, who had himself not a very good race today, but I'm sure he's happy for his teammate.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what it's always all about. If you can't get the run and you can't get the win, if you can't get the win and you can't get it, if one of your teammates can get the win, then that's always something special too. So you got to be pretty happy with that. Even though he ended up having problems in his race early in the race too. We might add he made that contact there after starting inside the top 5. So just a tough break overall for him, but overall a great race here at Atlanta.
Yeah, it was very, very exciting. Some good fighting from Timmy Hill, Daniel Roper, and Logan Clampett up inside the top 3, and really up and down throughout the field. It was very, very action packed.
Most definitely was, and hope everybody that tuned in enjoyed this one here tonight. And I want to thank everybody who watched this presentation of RaceSpot TV, streaming live on iRacing Live, and on behalf of Director Hugo Luis and everyone else at RaceSpot TV, and for the broadcast team tonight, Randy Cheneth and Andy Kessler, myself, Andy Kessler, I should say, we congratulate Timmy Hill as the race winner this evening from Atlanta. We hope to see you all next time right here on RaceSpot TV. Good night.